Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be showing how to serve standing rigging. Here I've got this machine set up to do a shroud. And this particular machine is sold at Siren.com. They sell blocks and many other very nice items for the shipbuilders purposes. I have one in here now that I have done a section on, and I'll be moving that over here and doing the other. The lead shroud on the main mast and the foremast on each side is served from one end at the deadeye all the way up to the seizing at the mast. And its purpose is to not only protect that particular shroud from the weather, but also because as the main yard on each of those masts turns from side to side, it sometimes rests or rubs up against that shroud, and it needs to have that extra protection to keep that shroud from fraying more over time. I also have a surging machine that I made many years ago before I bought this one that I used many times. It's not as fast as this one is, but it is easy to make, and you can certainly do that. Now, before I get started in moving everything around here, I'm going to show you a small photograph in a book that I use a lot of. This shows the shrouds as they go down. Now, as you can see on here, the drawing, the tiny lines that go across here like that indicate that is supposed to be served. So it'll show you there how each of these is doubled, goes up and around, comes down here. One this is served, this one is not. This has pairs, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Now sometimes you'll have a single, in which case it doesn't double across, it just singles up here. On the Merrimack, one side, the magmast has singles, so I'll be just doing this particular one. Will go up, and that's it. Now, this particular book is by, as you'll see, is by Lenarth Peterson, and it's called Rigging Period Ship Models. It's a very good book, especially for beginners. It's very, very easy to understand. As you can see, technically it'll show you how to do like basically one line. Here is here's a stay. This is a mainstay, or a mizzen stay, actually, from the mizzen down to the base hit here. Now, this is quite easy to understand, well drawn. There's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 lines on each page. It will show you how it goes around and is served on each mast. Here are the backstays. Shows the backstays for the most part here. You're starting to see 4 stays here to show you. It gives you details sometimes here and there on how those are done. I get a lot of questions I see on Facebook on how to do this particular little thing here. I forget what to call it anymore, but here it mentions parceling and serving right here. You can see how that's done right here, and it's very easy, like I said, to understand. It shows very good detail on how it's done. This is on a frigate. On the back, it has plans. If you want to be that technical, it goes all the way back to the sails, many other things here. In the back, it will show locations, even locations on the belaying pins on where everything needs to be tied off. Here, you can see here, for instance, it shows well, I can't seem to find the belaying pin layout on here, and you have the condition of the book. But I had a pit bull puppy, and she got a hold of it and chewed it up on me. But that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go ahead now and show you a quick little section of how I do this. You simply move this through here till it gets to about this point, and hold it tight, and you wrap it around these two little nails a few times. Now the machine comes with these little clips, and I don't particularly like those clips. I just got some little alligator clips like this, and I put those on here, and I'll use those instead. Keep it tight so it doesn't sag when you do your serving. Now this thread that I'm using here is just a Gutterman 100% cotton thread, or Gutermann, if you want to call it that. It's pretty quick. I'm not going to do a whole lot on this, just enough to get you an idea of how it goes. Well, that should certainly be enough to give you an idea. I don't want it to unravel, so I'm going to give it a tiny little drop of super glue here. Nozzles gets clogged all the time. I'm sure many of you have that same problem. It's just not going to work. Well, that's all right. What I'm going to show you now is one that I made many years ago. And this is one that I made. These gears are from a children's Connect kit that my son had and no longer uses. This is basically a hollow brass rod. This is steel that I made. This is a base made out of 2x6, and these are 1x2s. I screwed these to here. You can see I put screws through here. I drilled a hole here and a hole up here. Here's a retaining clip here, a spring, and here's a bushing to hold it in place. Now that allows this to move in and out like this. On the end of this brass rod here, I soldered an alligator clip. And on the end here is pretty much the same process right here. Down here is another brass rod, same diameter as this one, smaller gear here. Now this one runs all the way across here. And on this end there's another bushing with a set Allen screw on it. And on the end here, this is a window crank rod. And I put that on the end of there. I take one of the shrouds here, and the shrouds that go around the mast, on their center, about 3.5 or 4 inches of this has to be served. And I go ahead and string this through this little thing like this. So if I don't do it this way, it will wrap around the gear and everything stops. Let's see if I can get it coming through. At some point, I try to put the center of it. See where the center is here. It's about here. So we'll put the center in about, right about there. Here, I'll clamp this down here. Pull this out. Pull this out. That's what the spring is for, so that I can get it in here. Put it in the nose, like that. And string this through here. That may seem a little convoluted, but it works. As long as one will go, no, it goes on the outside like that. It's not much of a problem to take a piece of thread, which is here. I'll just snip this. And I will put this here and tie this here. It just use a little slip knot here on this. Tighten it down. Put a little drop of super glue there. Now you can see how this one works. Normally I would clamp this down to my desk, but since I'm only going to be doing a short bit of this for demonstration purposes, it doesn't need to be done. Well, you can see how that works. Well, this is about 3.5 inches, 4 inches or so. So you can, you'll know that going from one end to the other, you have how much you need, which is basically why I chose to have this much here. I could have made it longer, I could have made it shorter, but most of the ships I built were pretty much the same size and they need pretty much the same distance. I could make it smaller, but the largest ship that I build probably has this much of an expanse that wraps around the mast. So that's how I did this. Well, I think that pretty much does it for this particular video. You guys have a good day, and I hope this helps.